Okay, last session today. So let's go ahead with till now what we have discussed is the sales process, right? And that means sales process is the first the creation of the lead, converting that lead to account and contact, then create an opportunity, add products to the opportunity, and then finally converting that opportunity to the converted one, right? So that's how we sell our products. But when the products are sold to customers, after that, customers may face problems with that products. They can use it. They need support in installation. Probably they are facing some problems related that to product. Maybe they need warranty services. So all these kinds of the relationship with customer does not stop. So after the sales, the service process starts. So service, what why service is very crucial for customer relationships, because service brings loyalty, happy customers, and happy customers means upselling or other business. So it is very important that if you want to grow big in your company, you have to keep your existing customers happy, and also explore the opportunity that the customer can is interested in other products of your company. Yeah, keep selling to that customer base again and again. So if you are using Airtel or Reliance, and you are facing any problem with your network, you call the customer service, right? And they will raise a ticket for you, and that's how they work on your problems. That is exactly the same process. And maybe your customer service, Airtel or Vodafone. Airtel is also a user of Salesforce. We do not know. Maybe the service process is also maintained in Salesforce. So it is very important that what is the basis of service. So the table which stores your customer problem is case. This is again a standard object provided by Salesforce. Case is in the interesting object like account. Case is a hierarchical self lookup object. That means case has a parent case field which can refer to another case. Okay, so it's a hierarchy. One parent case can have multiple child cases. Okay, why that is needed? Probably there can be several reasons. But a problem from customer side, how will a customer reach out to you? What are the channels of communication? Channels means what are the different ways in which they can reach out to you? Probably they can phone your customer care number, right? Probably they can send an email, customer service at vodafone.com, something like that. Or they can go to your website and they can fill up a form, right? Web based. There can be other ways. There can be WhatsApp chatting. There can be social hashtag loading. There can be many things, but primarily these are the three default mechanisms in which a customer will reach out to you. These three are bare minimum for any company to have a customer relationship set up with him. So they can fill up a form, they can send an email, or they can. So idea is there can be service representative or customer care representative who is sitting, who is attending to these phones or responding to these emails, or looking at this web and creating cases. Usually attending to phones, this will be a manual case creation process. So case will be created by the service representative. Salesforce automatically gives automatic creation of case for email and website. Okay, the automatic creation process of email is called email to case, and this is called web to case. Let's see this three process, how this works. So just like sales application, there is a service application. Okay, usually this is the service application. You see bare minimum case. So you can create a case here. You can choose the account and contacts on which you want to create a case, and then reports and dashboard. This is a very small application. Usually a person is working on multiple cases, because phone calls, you see that I will put your call on hold and then they are working on something else. So they are probably attending multiple calls from multiple customers and they are working on multiple cases at the same time. So if I go and create a case here, I can go and create a case. I can choose who called, from which company, and the problem. Laptop is not working. Okay. What is the origin? Primary channels, I said. Probably he called. So this is a manual creation. But I cannot work
We
on.
can see your screen.
Oh, sorry. Sorry about it. So just like sales, there is a service app here, right? And I can create a manual case. If I go to the cases tab, go to case, I can say who called, from which company, and I can say laptop is not working. And case origin can be these three primary channels, right? By default, Salesforce gives us. So think about phone he called up. So this is a case. But I am working on multiple people are working. So this is not ideally suited for when I have to jump in from case to case and I'm working on multiple cases at the same time. So Salesforce also provides another app which is called Service Console. Usually sales representatives will use this app. This is a little easier because now this tabs becomes individual cases and you can change between different things here. So probably you will be working on cases. So think about this one and this one. Both the cases now can be opened side by side. And this is a recent view. I can stop this and you can see I can jump between cases. So I am working on this, put this caller on hold while I am working on this, talking to this person. So probably I am jotting down some information for this person. I am talking to this person. So because these service representatives are working at random. So this service console is a better way for them to work on. So a case is associated to a contact. And basically I can work on this case here in the details. I can check what is the case reason, what is the type, is it mechanical fault or electrical fault, as much information I can gather from them, and I save it so that I can pass it to different people and then basically they can work on it. Okay, so this is the default case management. This is a manual way of creating the case. Apart from this, you also have the ability to automate the case which is getting created to email to case. There is two ways in which you can set up email to case. Okay, one is called email to case, another is called on-demand email to case. Usually on-demand email to case will be used wherein the email server is maintained in Salesforce itself. So Salesforce is sending out mails and Salesforce is receiving the mails. That is how on-demand email is case. But if you want to use your own email server, that means Outlook or Gmail, in that case you have to set up email to case wherein you have to install some things behind your firewall and you have to enable this. Okay, so you have to then route it via that. This is like forwarding of that email from that server needs to be done. Then on this, the case is created automatically in Salesforce. Apart from that, we also have web to case. When you go to web to case, you automate enable web to case and you have web to case HTML generator. So you give the maybe www.vodafone.com. This is the name of the website on which you want to put this form. You can include a reCAPTCHA, which will make sure that you are a human. Then this is a HTML output which is getting generated. Copy paste and send it to the website maker, and they will put this form in their website, and automatically this form, when somebody is filling up, that will create a case in Salesforce. Okay, so this website is hosted outside. Okay, but that website is basically, you see, it is calling this form action and it is creating the case in Salesforce. So this is automated way. Now the question is, when I manually create a case, that is here. Think about it. If I'm creating a manual case, at that point, I become the case owner, right? The person who is creating the case. But when a case is getting created from email automatically or website automatically, at that point, who is the case owner? Who will become the case owner? I don't know, right? In order to make understand or assign a case owner, Salesforce allows you to create assignment rules. Is assignment rules. So by default, Salesforce gives you one. You can create your own assignment rules also. What is happening is that based on different parameters of your account, case fields, or contact fields of that case, you can assign it to different people. It can be individuals, it can be a queue. What is a queue? Queue is a group of users who can own a record. So you can create a new queue. You say service reps, and you can say that I will use this queue only for case objects, and I can put multiple users inside it, or I can put multiple roles inside it, multiple public groups inside it. It is up to me to decide whom I will want to include. It's just like a public group, but the public group cannot own any record. A queue can own record. So when I assign this to queue, now in the assignment rule, I can assign this to a queue. So any member of that queue can now pick up and assign it to themselves, and that's how it works. Okay. So it is not individually assigning to one person. I can directly assign this to a queue. You see? So these are the parameters I have created. And instead of this, I can choose this and change this to the service queue. Yeah. And save it. So now these parameters, and this is evaluated one by one. So whenever it is one case is going through these steps one by one. So whenever it is able to assign, automatically stops at that level. And that's it. None of the rest of this thing is evaluated. Please remember that if after all these steps, I am not able to assign to any user, in that case, Salesforce automatically assigns to the default case owner, which is in the support settings. Here, default case owner is there. You can also assign this to a queue or a user. But please note, if it is a user, you cannot deactivate this user. This is a certification question, okay? You cannot deactivate a user if it is a default case owner. Okay, very well. Okay, now when the case has been assigned, you want to and you want to respond to people who are raising cases from emails and websites, because otherwise they are not sure whether somebody is basically working on that case or not. So you should get an automatic, the customer should get an automated mail that yes, you see, if you send a mail to this person or this email ID, usually it will respond to you and say that a case ticket number, this one has been created for you. Okay, so that is created using auto response rules. This is the same. Here also you will have the same rules one by one. You can say that if the case origin is web, is email, sort order is one, and you say this is the email ID from which the mail will go out. This is the template, and you say that this is the first rule, that your case has been registered successfully. So you can send emails out to your customers based on different parameters, and it can be many fields through which you can make more specific emails for your customers. Okay, auto response rules. If by default, when a company, because this is a B2B process, right, your customer is a company and a seller is also a company, so there would be always a SLA, service level agreement, that is defined between these two companies. So they will say that you have to respond to my cases based on priorities at these intervals. Like if it is a priority 1 ticket for me, you have to respond in 4 hours. If it is a priority 2 ticket for me, you can respond after a day or within a day. If it is a priority 3, you can respond within a week. Yeah, so these are service level agreements. So if you do not respond on time, because my business is stuck, I will drag you to court and you have to give me compensation. So Salesforce can help the seller company so that the buyer is not taking him to court by defining escalation rules. What is escalation rules? Escalation rules make sure that the seller side is not breaching the SLAs. That means I am responding to my customers on time based on the priorities. And if my the service person who is working on that case is not able to respond after 3 hours or 4 hours or not able to fix it, immediately it is prioritized and it is escalated to my boss, right? So another a higher level manager who has more powers is handed over this case so that he can make changes as necessary so that the cases is resolved on time. Otherwise I will be in court, right? So again, these are the uh, different rules on which this is finding. Please remember this. Apart from these rules, there is also timing also that is very important. So escalation. How when will that escalation occur? It will occur after 2 hours. So immediately when the case is raised, it is the escalation rule will not fire. Escalation rule will fire after a time interval. That this right now, this escalation is basically I have escalated to my boss. Now the boss is taking care of your case, right? Or it is escalated to higher departments so that they can work on it and raise it or fix it with priority. Clear, guys? Okay. So escalation rules, auto response rules, and assignment rules are the 3 rules which are very crucial on case object, that basically gives you automation on top of case so that your SLAs are on time, you are respond to customers messages automatically, as well as you are also working manually. When you are creating a case, you can also assign this to uh, a user or a queue. You can reassign this to a user or queue. Maybe you are on vacation, you want somebody else to pick it up, so you assign to queue because you are not sure who will take it up. So tomorrow the queue members, one of the queue members will come and they will take the case. Any questions so far? So case is a very important topic. There would be many questions which will come in certification, admin certification on case. So it is very critical for you to go through the case management process. Case is quite easy in Salesforce, what is covered under case management. But please finish this and you are all set for the admin certification. Many questions? I think if there are any, no, you can ask for any questions on any topics previous day. Go through the videos. If you're facing any problem, reach out to Angshita if you're not able to. You are stuck in trailheads or you are stuck in any activities or any subject lines. Shujit, you had some questions on case management. Tell me. Shujit.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir, it's for auto response rule.
Hmm.
Sir, one second, please. mean, how that is being done? Auto responsible,
Hmm.
auto response rule. Yes,
So
yes.
auto response rule, just like workflow email message, right? You have to create a email template first. Yeah,
Okay.
create a email template,
Hmm.
and you have to also create a org-wide default. Org-wide
Hmm.
default is a email ID which you have to use, which will basically you will use for sending the email IDs,
So
right? You
for my email address.
you can use your email ID, but that needs to be added in the org-wide email addresses. So if you click on this, is the org-wide email addresses here.
Okay.
You can have a special purpose email ID or user selectable email ID. You can use the special purpose. You add your email ID here,
Okay.
then that email ID needs to be verified. There is a OTP will come to that email ID. Then after verification, you will be able to use it. And you can name that it is a system administrator from Salesforce.com. So if it is not user specific,
Okay.
okay. And
Okay.
then basically, uh, this
Great.
is the email template. Then basically, what you need to do is that you just like escalation rule or auto response rule, it is a sort
Yes.
order, one by one.
Yes.
So you say that if the case origin is equal to email,
Yes.
then I will use this email template. You select this
Okay.
email template and you save it. And in email template, you can have your smart fields in which you say case number, you put the smart tag and you say this case has been created for this user. That's it. That's how the auto response will work.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So customer will
Yes.
automatically get the email ID from
Email.
us. Yeah.
Okay.
But for this email to case and web to case needs to be configured, which is not possible for you to uh, do it very easily. So it will need a lot of steps for email to case and web to case to be configured. Then only you will be able to use that auto response rule, escalation rules. For now, in admin, you
Yes.
these are only conceptual questions. You don't have to actually know how to use it. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
But actually, in enterprise world, you will get this to be configured. In dev org, it is very difficult to configure them.
Okay.
Otherwise, I would have shown it right now on the session itself. So for you to just understand what are the difference between these two rules, when to use what. So auto response rules is to assign to a proper queue or a user for different criteria when the case is automatically generated from email to case or web to case. That's it. Auto response rule is again automatically sending emails to my customers
Yes.
or auto creation of cases. Okay. And the last is escalation rules, which makes sure that my case is escalated to proper people. After some time, if if the case is not getting closed on the right moment, right? If the
Yes.
status is not changing correctly. And there are more sophisticated ways of case management. That for that we have Service Cloud as a separate product for Salesforce. We are not going to discuss that right now.
Sir, for the lead management, the lead auto response rules.
Same process.
Same process.
If you see lead also has a lead assignment rule, lead auto
Yeah.
response rule. So it does not have escalation because no nothing to escalate here. There is
Okay.
no contract. But assignment and auto response rules also work the same way because you can also create web a lead directly from web. So web to lead can be created. Email to say lead is also possible. That is email to Salesforce, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, email to Salesforce. I think. Yeah,
Sir,
email to.
for admin part, flows and that in case management very crucial.
No, for certification, or are you talking about working as an admin?
Working
Working as an admin, flow is the most important thing, and security is the next important thing.
security.
Security and flow must be crystal clear to you.
Okay.
Security means what is OLS, FLS, RLS, right?
Object.
And sharing. Everything
Sorry.
must be crystal clear to you, and flows must be rock solid for you because
Yes.
workflow is gone. Workflow no longer getting utilized. Process builder no longer getting utilized. We will only have flows, and flows, if you know well, probably sometimes you don't have to write triggers. Everything you can do using flows. Batch
Yes.
classes and triggers can be easily replaced with flows.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Very important that flow you know very well, because there will be customers for which if you start writing code for triggers, and they will challenge you and say, why didn't you do that using flow? And if you do not know, then that shows you in a very poor light.
Hmm.
So try to customize only when the configuration is not at all possible. Okay,
Okay.
write code only when it is absolutely essential, there is no other way out.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yes.
don't jump into coding, and you should have solid reasons that why you are coding. Okay,
Okay.
that is very essential. For that, admin course is very essential for developers.
Yes.
That is all from my side. If you do not have any further questions,